Hey everyone, what's going on? Retire on Dividends here. So, this is going to be the first of many on the weekly series. This is going to be Defiance versus Roundhill. So, why am I doing this? Well, it's pretty simple. Defiance, we all know they came out first. Very aggressive, very high income fund. What they do is basically they sell puts on a daily basis on the three major indexes, and they pay out an income, maybe too much income, but an income nonetheless. And then what happened is Roundhill came out and they did a similar strategy, except they decided we're not going to sell puts, we're going to sell covered calls on a daily basis. And they have had much success. In fact, what they do is a little different. They sell 0 DTE, which means they actually close their positions before the day ends, and that's so they can capture the full up or downside, mainly upside, for the after hours trading. Now, since then, Defiance has changed their prospectus to now call themselves a 0 DTE, or give them at least the option to do 0 DTE trades. And they went from a daily goal of 0.25% to change it to less aggressive, being 0.15%. Because I guess, they heard it loud and clear. People, although they love the high distribution, they love NAV preservation much better. So they want the high yield, but they don't want it too much at the expense of the NAV. At least that's maybe their interpretation of what the market wanted. So since then, also, Defiance has changed their payout schedule. They now pay weekly, and I was praying and hoping that they would pay in the same schedule as Defiance, and guess what? They do. So it's a beautiful thing. So now what I could do is I can compare these funds every single week and see how they do against one another. So let's take a look. Here we go. All right, zoom in. So, I'm not going back to inception because these funds launched at different times, so it would not be fair. I am starting this as of October 4th for all of the funds. So let's get to it. We will look at October the 5th, right? October the 5th, that's the first change. Obviously, we'll start tracking on the 4th, and then on the 5th, what happened? So on the 5th, the NASDAQ, as you know, QQQY and QDTE, they both trade options on the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ went down 1.17% on the 5th. QQQY went down 0.87% that same day. And QDTE went down a little more, 1.03% that day. So on, the big drop day, it looks like QQQY was the winner. So pretty damn good. Obviously, the next two look to be the weekends, so we'll call those a tie. And then we'll jump to October 8th, where the index went up 1.55%. Now, QQQY only captured 0.44% of that upside, where QDTE, this is the game changer, it went up 1.33%, because maybe a lot of that upside happened during the after hours prior to the open or at the open. So maybe they were actually truly able to capture that full upside. So you'll see that's a game changer. Now, next date, October 9th, the index only went up 0.8%. QQQY captured 0.49% of that, but QDTE captured 0.54%. So 2 wins in a row for QDTE. And then we have ex-dividend date. Ex-dividend date is October 10th. The index went down 0.13% that date. Again, I'm taking out the distribution. I'm not counting the distribution. I am just counting the movement of the underlying. We can compare the distribution rates on another tab, and I will do that. But excluding distributions, QQQY went up 0.19%. QDTE went down 0.05%. So again, and if you want to double check the formula, G8, plus the dividend in H8 minus G7, which is prior date. divided by prior date, all right? So that's the formula in case you guys were wondering. We're adding back the distribution in order to calculate what it yields for that date. So anyway, QQQY won on X dividend date. And then the last day of the week, October 11th, which was the Friday, the index went up 0.15%. QQQY went up 0.35%, and QDTE went up 0.14%. So QQQY for the win yet again. So wins and loss wise, QQQY had 3 wins and QDTE had two wins. So QQQY is the winner as it relates to total wins. All right, now let's compare WDTE versus XDTE. Again, we're going to start this as of the 4th. Let's try to capture this information all on the same screen. All right, so on the 5th, the S&P, again, both of these trade on the S&P. And if you're wondering what the hell is WDTE, JEPY, JEPI had to change their ticker. We don't know why. I'm trying to get the straight answer out. I will one day, but JEPY had to be changed to WDTE, and my guess is the monster, the JP Morgan version said, you're distracting us. We don't want anything to do with you. I don't know. Who the hell knows, man? But anyway, WDTE and XDTE are the comparables. They both trade on the S&P. The S&P went down 0.96% on October 5th. WDTE went down 0.64%. But XDTE actually went down more, 0.82%. So WDTE took the win. Then we have the weekend, so we took a break. And then on October 8th, we came back. The index went up 0.97%. WDTE went up 0.24%. And XDTE went up pretty much just as much as the index, which is awesome, 0.98%. So XDTE for the win right there. Now on October 9th, the index, again, not much movement, 0.71%. This is why the index is safe, right? WDTE was able to capture, God, I hate saying WDTE. I've missed Jeppy. It went up 0.31%. XDTE went up 0.23%. So WDTE went up more. Good job. On October 10th, this is X dividend date. Again, I'm taking out the distribution, not calculating that into the drop. The index went down, 0.21%. WDTE kind of stayed flat or went up 0.01%. And WDTE went down 0.17%. So that's another win for WDTE. Then on October 11th, the index went up 0.61%. WDTE went up 0.38%. That's okay. That's pretty good. And then XDTE only captured 0.27%. This is kind of surprising. So the upside may have happened all during, when they had trades pending. Again, when the upside happens after hours, or pre-market, then Roundhill's going to win. Like, there's no question about it. But when it doesn't, they may not always win. So in this example, WDTE had 4 wins. XDTE had 1 win. So Defiance wins yet again when it comes to the win-loss record. All right, IWMY. Everyone loves IWMY. They do, and it shows. But RDTE is new, so we'll give them time. They will catch up. The love will be there for both. All right, so on the 5th, the Russell. IWMY is comparable to RDTE because they both trade options, daily options on the Russell. Just wanted to cover that in case you didn't know. On the 5th, the Russell went down 0.89%. IWMY went down 0.46%. RDTE went down a little more, 0.79%. So IWMY took that. 2 days off. Here we go. We're back on October 8th. Kind of a flat day. The Russell only went up 0.09%. IWMY went up even more, 0.35%. And RDTE went up 0.32%. So IWMY took the win. On October 9th, the index went up a little more, 0.26%. IWMY captured 0.37%. Because again, they capture more. Why? How can they capture more? Options premium. However, RDTE did not capture more. They only went up 0.11%. So IWMY for the win yet again. Then on October 10th, the Russell went down 0.55%. IWMY, this is ex-dividend date. Again, I'm excluding the distribution. IWMY went down 0.2%. RDTE went down a little more, 0.46%. So IWMY for yet again another win. Russell went up 2.1%. I think when we see this, we know who's going to win. IWMY only captured 0.44%. RDTE captured, that's not that much, but it captured 0.6%. So a lot of that upside probably happened during the market hours. But nonetheless, RDTE wins when the indexes go up a decent amount. That seems to be the trend. And when it goes up a decent amount, it could go up a good amount, and it could capture a lot of that. So anyway, for the Russell, IWMY, 4 wins, RDTE, 1 win. So Defiance sweeps Roundhill on the win-loss, column right there. So now, I'm not done. Now I'm going to do the yield war. So who yields more, right? This is important stuff. All right, I should probably shrink the columns. Okay, there you go. So, who's yielding more? So every week on declaration date, well, I'll take the distribution that they pay and I'll compare it to the price of the fund on declaration date, because again, that's the date they declare, right? So QQQY this week yielded 51%, QDTE yielded 32%. I think we know Defiance for the most part is always going to yield more than Roundhill. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but it's still good to compare to get an idea how much. And also, Defiance should be lowering their yield overall, so we should see that in due time, that their yield would actually come down a little if they're going to try to have a goal of less than 0.1% of the prior goal. All right, anyway, WDTE, they yielded 40%, XDTE yielded 19%, IWMY yielded 62%, RDTE yielded 29%. So obviously you could see the big gap in yields. This obviously, we're taking the weekly payment, we multiply the weekly payment times 52 weeks in a year, divided by the price of each of these funds as of declaration date. And by the way, guys, if you happen to see an error in any of this calculation, please let me know in the comments. It is greatly appreciated because it is very easy to screw something up. All right, now the NAV war. This is what you guys have been waiting for, the NAV, right? You care about the NAV. You're in income funds, but you care about the NAV, right? Makes sense? Not really, but anyway, let's talk about it. I probably should shrink these. Get them in one screen. Okay, there you go. Looks better, right? All right. So, who won the NAV war? And I'm including the index just so we can see. This just compares how much each of the funds went up for the week. So, for the week, the NASDAQ went up 1.2%. QQQY went up half of that, 0.6%, and QDTE went up more, 0.93%. So there you go. S&P 500 went up 1.12% for the week. WDTE went up 0.3%, and XDTE went up 0.49%. So 2 for 2 for Roundhill here. The Russell went up 1%. IWMY went up 0.5%, half of that. And then RDTE actually went down 0.22%. So not a great week for RDTE. So as far as the NAV war, Roundhill 2, Defiance 1. All right. How about the total return war? Now this is really exciting, right? So what has the best total return? Now this is going to start as of October 4th. So let's go down the line. So look at QQQY. The price of QQQY on October 4th was $34.67. The price as of today, and when I say as of today, it's as of the last close, which would have been the Friday, October the 11th, is $34.83. So you subtract the two, capital appreciation, or in this example, depreciation, it went down 14 cents. The distribution paid for the week was 34 cents. It's going to be total distributions, but right now it's just 1 week. So if you add the distributions to the capital appreciation or depreciation, you get the total return figure. In this example, QQQY had a total return value of 20 cents. That's a total return percentage of 0.59%. QDTE, they actually did have capital appreciation of 12 cents and they paid a distribution. So they were up 0.39. Compare that to their actual, the price of the fund. They went up 0.92%. So you can see the leader is QDTE. Next is WDTE versus XDTE. So we'll basically, go right to the bottom. Total return for WDTE, 0.29%. Total return for XDTE, 0.48%. So total return-wise, XDTE for the win. Last but not least, the Russells, IWMY, total return, 0.49%. RDTE, again, they're negative, so they're kind of sucking. They're down 0.23%, even with the distribution. So IWMY took the lead for the R's. So Roundhill took 2 of the wins. Defiance took 1. Now, last but not least, the AUM, the Assets Under Management Comparison. So what I'll do is I'll do what I kind of did with Defiance, and I'll look at the current week versus prior week to see how much the funds are growing based on the outstanding shares. This week, I do not have that because I was not tracking the prior week outstanding shares for Roundhill. So we'll just look at this week's about comparing the total net assets and see what's a bigger fund. So if we compare the NASDAQ in pink, QQQY has a total net assets or assets under management 202,000. QDTE, now this was surprising, more than doubled it. Holy crap, 467,000. I can't believe how big the Roundhill funds are, comparable to Defiance. WDTE, 92,000. XDTE, 175,000. Unbelievable. They almost doubled it again. IWMY, 132,000. RDTE, 52,000. However, I'll give RDTE a pass. It's a newer fund. It just launched not that long ago, so give it some time. Could it catch IWMY? I do not know, because IWMY is pretty damn popular. But so is QQQY, and it got freaking lapped. Man, got destroyed. So the winner of total assets under management for the 3 funds is Roundhill. They have 695 million assets under management between all 3, and Defiance has 427 million assets under management with all 3. So, wow, this was fun. I'm not going to lie, guys. When I was making the spreadsheet, yes, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun. I love both of these funds. I do. I especially love, how Defiance started the game, and they kind of changed their strategy. It pissed me off, the whole weekly thing, but you know what? I put it in a different account where I don't track it as much, so it's less of an issue. It's actually in my Dividend car account. So both of these funds now are paying my car payment. I decided to do that. And I'll show you that in the latest Dividend car payment. But regardless, I think both of these funds can complement one another. Because you kind of see, overall, day by day, some do better than others. So, some may help out. So if you equally allocate them, maybe that helps. Again, are you ever going to beat the index? Some days, yes. But more than likely, for the long term, no, you're not. That's not the point. The point of these funds is produce income. Too many people just don't get it. It didn't beat the index, so what's the point? All right, I don't care. We're in income funds, right? But again, a lot of the days they do beat the index. When the index goes down, they beat the index. When the index goes up a little, they beat the index. When the index goes up a lot, okay, we can't beat the index. But anyway, this is the comparison, Defiance versus Roundhill. Let me know what you guys think of the first episode. I was going to stop there, but I will, because I know there's people that are probably going to be pissed if I don't do this. I will talk about SPY-T, USOY, and QQQT and see how they did overall for the week. But they went up, SPY-T went up, they lost 14 cents. They lost 14 cents. All right, because they were at dead even. And then they made 20 cents, made 5 cents, made 2 cents, and then they made 11 cents. So SPY-T is up 24 cents for the month. They have recovered 73% of their prior distribution. They are at a total return of 11%. USOY, how'd they do this week? Well, let's see. They went up 49 cents. up to $1.05. Then they lost 32, lost 14, and then they gained 34 and then gained 5. So they're at month-to-date income, 98 cents, which is a 92% recovery rate. Total return, they're at least in the positive by 0.2%. QQQT, as far as they are concerned, where do they stand? They went down 15 cents, then they went up 21, and then they went up 15, and then they went down a penny, and then they went up 4. So overall, they're up 16 cents. They're actually recovered 50%, which is pretty good, and they are also in the positive 1.24%. I did not update their holding information for this week. I didn't get to it. I didn't even know if I was going to cover this, to be honest. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think I should still throw SPY TU Soy and QQQT really quick at the end, just like a quick summary? Or should I leave it out and just talk about the Defiance versus Roundhill, the big three, the big three versus the big three, and that's it? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Also, let me know who you think won. Like, what do you care about? Do you care about yield? Do you care about daily wins? Do you care about NAV? Do you care about total return? Do you care about assets under management? I'm curious. And also, what do you think? I'm very happy with this. I know maybe it's because I made it, but I'm very happy with it. If there's anything else I should add that makes sense, let me know. But if overall, are you happy with this series? I think it's going to be a successful series. I'm going to launch this every Saturday afternoon. It'll replace kind of like the options video when that premiered, 3 p.m.-ish. The options video will still be done. It'll just launch at probably a later time. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, we will try again next week. But I think you guys had fun. That's just my thought. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, concerns, leave them down below. Thank you for watching the first video of the Defiance vs. Roundhill series, and I will talk to you later.